And Tim, I'm curious just about this area of law. Just what are maybe some of the more common injuries that you come across with your clients? What are some of the common mishaps that happen out there?
Sure. Unfortunately, any type of work on a vessel or even dockside work tends to be very heavy. Back injuries, neck injuries, knee injuries. We have seen, in the course of our practice, we tend to do more serious injuries, more sophisticated cases. A lot of times these are just catastrophic injuries with, burns or head injuries, which can really be tragic for the families. One of the unique things about this type of law, probably half of our clients are employed by the companies that they're filing the cases against. And we understand that that's the nature of maritime law, is that probably half or two-thirds of our cases, they're actually going after their employer. It's a different situation than a car accident where someone else strikes you and you're not having to go into court against your own employer. There are other cases, probably about a third of our practice, that are third-party cases where a boat accident may happen, someone else hits you. It's not as emotionally draining, and it's not as hard as it is when you're actually giving up your employment and going that route. But the injuries can be very, very serious, just the nature of the work that.
And Tim, is this similar to workers' comp in that if you're just injured on the job, you don't really have to prove fault. They compensate you for your injury. I'm curious how the two differ.
In general, you do have to prove fault on maritime cases, but the law is very favorable to the injured worker. And one critical thing that's very different than workers' comp is the employee can make a claim for all damages, including his inability to work in the future, his loss of income, pain and suffering. And Bill will tell you right away, workers' comp does not have any pain and suffering. So if you can imagine a 25 or a 35-year-old that gets hurt, it's a serious injury, and they're going to have to find different work to do that pays them less money. The value of the cases can quickly get up into seven figures, and insurance is usually not a problem because the companies are usually well insured. It's just the tough thing is that these can be very serious cases, but they are very different than workers' comp cases.